Scorpio season is here. Scorpio is a fixed water sign ruled by Pluto, Lord of the underworld, and associated with death, rebirth, and transformation. The scorpion's process of molting and shedding its exoskeleton represents shedding the old to be reborn stronger, symbolizing personal growth and renewal. This energy represents what lies beneath the surface and asks us to examine the hidden parts of ourselves to find truth. Scorpio is traditionally ruled by Mars, which is associated with action, power, and intensity. The scorpion has a tendency to hide in the shadows, representing hidden strength, but deliver a potent sting if necessary, representing strong willpower and fierce determination. The sacral or Svadhisthana chakra is linked to Scorpio energy and governs our emotions, creativity, pleasure, sexuality, and desire. Being a water sign, Scorpio energy is highly intuitive, having a powerful sixth sense for uncovering hidden truths and reading people's true intentions. Therefore, the third eye or Ajna chakra is also associated with Scorpio energy. As we wade into the mystical waters of Scorpio season, our intuition becomes sharper and our senses begin to attune to the environment both around and within us. It is a time of trust in our emotions, gut instincts, and insights, examining hidden truths which can lead to healing and transformation. A time to turn inward, reach into the unknown, navigate the mysteries of ourselves while remaining in our power throughout the inevitable changes of life. Hello, my name is Shannon and this is George, and welcome to our Scorpio themed yoga practice. Since this is a time to go inward and really delve into our hidden truths and emotions, I thought this would be a great time to do a meditative yin practice. We are moving into the yin time of year where things are slowing down. Great time to go inward. So with this class, we'll be using, I have a bolster. You can use a bolster or a pillow. I also have my blocks here, and I like to use a hand towel to make it softer on my head. And we will be working on poses where we are stimulating our third eye and also our sacral chakra. So our intention for today's class, or our affirmation, will be, I honor my deep emotions, intuition, and hidden truths, embracing continuous transformation. I honor my deep emotions, intuition, and hidden truths, embracing continuous transformation. So with these yin poses, we will be holding them about 3 minutes, and I will give us little different options for support in the poses. And then once we go into the poses, I will stay relatively quiet so we can all get that nice inner stillness that yin provides. So we'll go ahead and start here in this easy seated pose, just to ground ourselves down here on our mats. You can shut your eyes. Just take a moment to notice how you feel. And then we'll take one full deep breath in through our nose and a gentle sigh out. Now our first pose is going to be butterfly pose. So for this pose, we're going to bring the bottoms of our feet together, and they don't have to be too close. They can be a little bit further out. And if you'd like, you can use a pillow or a bolster on your body. You can also use blocks on your feet for your forehead. We're going to be folding forward, so this will be opening up our sacral chakra. And you can have your hands either on the floor or on your blocks. So with Yin, you don't want to go too far, too fast, and you really want to relax your muscles. So come to a point where you feel like you can soften and relax. Now very slowly press up, pausing at the top, noticing how you feel. If you have blocks or props, you can remove them, bringing your knees up with your feet flat, maybe bringing your arms behind you and doing a little bit of windshield wipering side to side with our knees. And our next pose is going to be straddle pose. So we're going to be opening up our legs, and you can use pillows or blankets or even your blocks under your thighs. And we're going to be folding forward. Now for this pose, if you'd like, you could place your block under your forehead, or you could have your forehead in the air. You could also have your bolster or pillow in front of you. I'm going to come down and I'm going to bring my arms a little bit to the side to get a little bit of a stretch in my arms. As we move into this autumn season, autumn is ruled by the lungs and the large intestines meridians. And these meridians run through our arms, so sometimes it's nice to get a little stretch in your arms. But if you have any discomfort, just bend your elbows, bringing your arms a little bit closer. And once again, we will be in this pose for about 3 minutes. I honor my intuition, my deep emotions, and my hidden truths, embracing continuous transformation. Now very slowly we'll press our way up, pausing at the top. Now we're going to take our time making our way into a tabletop position. So come on all fours and move your hips a little bit right and left. Taking this moment to notice how your low back is feeling, how your sacrum is feeling. And our next pose is going to be swan pose, which is also known as pigeon in yang yoga. So we're going to start by bringing our right knee towards our right hand. And you can have as much bend in your knee as you need. We're going to move a little bit right and left. And with this pose, you can stay up on your hands like this. Or if you'd like, you can come all the way down. You could place your forehead on a block, or you can bring it all the way down to the mat. So really softening here. Very slowly, we're going to press up, turning to face the long edge of the mat and pausing here at center. Sometimes when we're in these poses, our minds can wander and thoughts can come up. And it's a good time to just let these thoughts go by and realize that we are not our thoughts. Our thoughts are not always true, and we can go a little bit deeper and do a little bit of shadow work and try to see what is underneath these thoughts that we have. So our next pose is going to be half butterfly. So for this pose, we're going to keep our right knee bent, and you can have a pillow or a bolster on your leg. You don't have to have any props at all. I'm going to use a bolster and a block. We'll be folding over this leg, Now very slowly walk your way back up, pausing in center for a couple breaths. We will remove our props if you had any, and we're going to turn to the other direction of the mat to go back into that tabletop pose. And really just move any way that feels intuitively nice for you before we go into that sleeping swan with our left leg forward this time. So we'll bring our left knee towards our left arm. Once again, you can have your knee at 90 or you can bend it as much as you need. Everyone's hip is shaped a little bit differently, so we do not need to have our knee at 90 degrees. And with this pose, if you'd like, you can stay up on your hands or you can fold all the way down. You could put your forehead on a block or you could have it all the way on the mat. Now very slowly, we will press our way up, turning towards the long edge of the mat and pausing here, taking a couple breaths. And then we'll make our way into half butterfly, turning to the right. And you can also have something under your right knee if it's too much to have your leg straight. Forgot to mention that on the other side. So we will be folding down towards our right leg. Now we'll slowly press our way up, pausing here, taking a couple breaths. And our final pose before Shavasana is going to be a wide-legged child's pose. So bringing our toes, our big toes together, you can bring your knees as wide as you'd like. If you want, you can do a supported child's pose with the bolster or a pillow, or you can come all the way down with your forehead on the mat. I honor my hidden truths, intuition, and deep emotions, embracing continuous transformation. Now we'll very slowly press our way back up. Maybe you want to bring your knees together, placing your hands on your thighs, taking those couple breaths. Now we'll cross at our ankles so we can slowly make our way down into Shavasana, final resting pose or corpse pose. So our toes are falling out, our palms are facing up. We'll completely relax here. Start to deepen your breath and finding a little bit of movement in your fingers and toes. And maybe you want to take a long body stretch. And we'll slowly make our way back to an easy seated pose with our hands on our knees. We will end class with one final Om. So let's take a deep breath in. Let's bring our hands to heart center, bowing our heads, giving ourselves gratitude for showing up today to practice and come home to ourselves. The light in me honors the light in you, and together here now and always, we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for this Scorpio-themed Yin practice. I hope you have a wonderful Scorpio season, going inward, finding those inner hidden truths, embracing change and transformation, and really honoring your emotions. So I hope to practice with you again soon. And I have a whole zodiac playlist if you'd like to delve into other zodiac energies. Have a wonderful day.